So in the midst of so many players entering their name into the transfer portal for the Crimson Tide, they now get major news about Henry To'oTo'o and his intention to stay and play another year for the Crimson Tide, and we need to break down why this is so big for this Alabama defense. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited about the news involving Henry To'oTo'o? And let me know what you think. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions, though small, are massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all that being said, we need to break this down because this is major news. And especially with the linebackers that have entered the transfer portal for the Crimson Tide, because over the past few days, several inside linebackers have entered their name into the portal. And just this morning in my first video, I was talking about how with Shane Lee entering the portal on the heels of Jalen Moody, to me it was an indication of one of two things from the outside looking in. One, that either Christian Harris or Henry To'oTo'o was going to stay, or both, I'm not sure. It seems likely that one of them will head to the NFL, but now we know Henry To'oTo'o will stay. Or the second being that the young guys were really impressive, with Demoy Kennedy, Deontay Lawson, Kendrick Blackshire, and Sean Murphy coming in. It was one of those two, but now we know Henry To'oTo'o will be returning for another season. And this is major for the Crimson Tide for a few different reasons. First and foremost, let's talk about Henry To'oTo'o in particular. Anytime you can get a veteran signal caller at that middle linebacker position, you take it, no questions asked. That position is a really tough one on a defense because they're responsible for so much communication, and it has to be done in a timely manner while also maintaining your job integrity. And that's a lot to ask. And even though I've talked about how talented these inside linebackers are for the Crimson Tide, and they are absolutely going to be talented, you would love to pair one of those young talented guys with an experienced guy that can really help that learning process come about in a quicker manner. Because it's awesome to learn from your coaches, that's always great, but having that experienced individual next to you who can really break it down for you on a much different basis because they are also doing it play in and play out really can help expedite the learning process. And Henry To'oTo'o not alone has experience, he has got a lot of production returning. 111 tackles this past season with 4 sacks. That's going to be major production returning for the Crimson Tide. Because Alabama is going to return some key pieces of this defense, and if we look along the defensive front, with Will Anderson coming back after a 17-plus sack year, Dallas Turner being a true freshman posting over 8 sacks without having started the full year. I mean, Lord only knows what the future holds for him. He is going to be a phenomenal football player. I'm really excited to see how he continues to develop because he's in for big things. Along the front, Alabama does have to figure out how to replace Phidarian Mathis. And even though Alabama has always had solid defensive tackle play, real solid, and they recruit it very well, it's never easy to replace 9 sacks from the interior. Coming back, betting on yourself to play another year in this defense, another offseason of development under Nick Saban, Alabama, he has got the ability to be a day one prospect in next year's draft. And so I always am very interested when individuals bet on themselves. I think this is one that could pay off massively. But hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this. That's it. See ya.